Hi everyone. Today we are going to take a mock interview for one of our students. Let's see how it will go. Hi Sham.
Hi, sir.
Yes Sham. So మీరు resume prepare చేశారు కదా?
Yes, sir. Chesna, sir.
Okay. Let's start the interview first. Then we will review
Okay, sir.
your resume. Shall we
Okay,
start
sir.
with self introduction?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, my full name is Shyam Prasad. So I'm from state Andhra Pradesh, Nellore. I completed my graduation from JNTU Anantapur in 2014. So, and post that I started my IT career as Java developer at UST Global in 2018. There I worked for clients General Electronics and Dell. When I was working on Dell project, I had a chance to work on CRM related projects. With that experience, I tried outside and I got an offer from Thomson Reuters. And then I
Hmm.
quit my job in UST Global and joined Thomson Reuters in 2021 December. So there onwards, I'm with the Thomson Reuters. Here I had a chance to work on a as a CRM technical consultant. And during this tenure, so I worked on plugins, so JavaScript, cloud flows, workflows, business rules. So I covered most of the components in CRM Dynamics 365. So this is a small brief about myself and my experience.
ఓకే. ఫైన్ శ్యామ్. సో మీరు టోటల్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్, రిలవెంట్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ హైలైట్ చేయాలి అండ్ స్కిల్ సెట్ లాస్ట్‌కి సమ్మరైజ్ చేయాలి. మీకు ఆ టెంప్లేట్ చూసారా? మీకు ఇచ్చిన సెల్ఫ్ ఇంట్రడక్షన్ టెంప్లేట్.
చూసాను సార్. యాక్చువల్లీ నేను అది పాయింట్ కూడా నోట్ చేసుకున్నాను.
సో యూ నో నీడ్ టు మెన్షన్ యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్. బట్
ఓకే
కంటెంట్
సార్.
అనేది ఆ పాయింట్స్ అనేది కవర్ అవ్వాలి. మీకు
షూర్
యాజ్ ఇట్
సార్.
ఈస్‌గా చెప్పాలని ఏం లేదు. బట్
ఎస్
మనం
సార్.
ఒక ఫార్మాట్ ఇచ్చాం కదా! ఆ ఫార్మాట్‌లో కంటెంట్ కవర్ అయ్యేటట్టు చూడండి. మీ టోటల్
షూర్.
ఎక్స్‌పీరియన్స్, రిలవెంట్ ఎక్స్‌పీరియన్స్ హైలైట్ చేయాలి. లాస్ట్‌లో స్కిల్ సెట్ హైలైట్ చేయాలి. అండ్ మీకు ప్రాజెక్ట్‌లో ఏమేమి వర్క్ చేశారు? మీ ప్రొఫైల్ సమ్మరీలో కొన్ని పాయింట్స్ పెట్టున్నారు కదా!
ఎస్
సో
సార్.
అవి హైలైట్ చేయాలి.
ఎస్
ఓకే.
సార్. ఎస్ సార్.
సో what is your project you're working on? May I know about your
వర్కింగ్
project?
ఎస్ సార్. సో ఐమ్ వర్కింగ్ ఆన్ ఎ హెల్త్ కేర్ డొమైన్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ సార్. సో ప్రాజెక్ట్ నేమ్ ఇస్ డెలివర్ హెల్త్ సర్వీస్. సో ద సో సార్ ఇక్కడ నేను ప్రాజెక్ట్ వచ్చేసి ఇది డెలివరీ హెల్త్ కేర్ సర్వీసు. ఇది నేను మా ఫ్రెండ్ దగ్గర నుంచి రెఫరెన్స్ తీసుకున్నాను. బట్ నేనైతే ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేద్దాం అనుకున్నది మనమైతే హాస్పిటల్ అప్లికేషన్ చేసామో దాన్నే ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తున్నాను యాక్చువల్లీ.
Yeah, fine as well.
Yes, sir.
Mm.
So project name is Delivery Healthcare Service, sir. So this is basically US project, and client is DHS. So in this project, we have used power platforms like a Power Automate, and we have created a model-driven app for this, and there is a Canvas application also. So and for this, we have used business rules, processes, and reports and dashboards, and the JavaScript plugins. So most of the components, what are the main components there in the CRM Dynamics? So we have used most of them. So and coming to the project description, by using this project, we are I mean, whoever wants to create a doctor appointment, they can use this portal and they can create the doctor appointment for the to diagnosis their diseases. So users can come to the portal and they can just select the date and they can filter the hospitals, doctors, and specialty of the doctor. If once the user has filtered the specialty of the doctor, they can find all the hospitals and the doctors related, and according to they can select among all the doctors or hospital, so that the appointment will be created. Well, as soon as the appointment is created, the doctor will get an email notification that saying that with the patient details and appointment date. So with the old medical reports of the patient. So once the doctor receives the appointment, doctor can review the patient details, and once he is okay to diagnose the patient, he can confirm the appointment. As soon as a doctor confirms the appointment, patient will get an email notification that doctor has approved the appointment, so that on the date, on that particular date, patient go and visit the hospital and diagnosis their diseases. So this is the just a brief about the project.
So how many plugins you have implemented so far in your career?
I didn't count much, but no. So I did many things, many.
Expected count, please.
So it's uh, 40 to 50.
So you just say 15 to less than 50 or 10 plus. Just to mention, I
అవును
implemented
సార్
10 plus. 10 plus అని చెప్పేసేయండి.
10 ప్లస్ ఓకే సార్
Ah,
10 ప్లస్.
and may I know your which is your uh, difficult plugin you have implemented
So
from
it's
out of
not,
that?
yes sir. So I cannot say it is difficult plugin, but no to find the issue where the issue was there. So it was difficult for me during a plugin debugging. So the plugin is we have a start date and end date for a doctor leaves. So whenever the
Mm-hmm.
doctor is going on a leave, so doctor has to put their starting leave date and ending leave date. So once the doctor has put these leave dates in portal, so nobody we should not allow the patients, or we should not allow people to book the doctor appointment. But what was happening is due to the different time zone issues. When people are trying to use a different, the systems with the different time zones. For example, we are expecting to have a appointments only from the US people, but whenever other time zone like Indian time zone or any other time zone, people trying from their system. Still we are able to create. The still portal was allowing to create the appointment. This is a time does mismatch. So to find the issue itself, we faced some issue, but no, after finding the issue, the fix did not take much time.
So what is the fix did you provide?
So we have applied the time zone info dot convert the date from the convert date from UAT. So we have the predefined method. So we have used that to convert the local, irrespective of the time zones. We are just converting into the date from UST UAT.
Okay. And did you work on plugin, right? You have experience with plugins, right?
Yes, sir.
And what is the pipeline stage?
So pipeline stage, basically we have 3 stages in pipeline: pre-validation, pre-operation, and post-operation. So whenever when we use the pre-validation, the plugin will execute before the system perform the basic validations. So when we use the pre-operation, the plugin will execute before the data save operation. But what is the difference between pre-validation and post-validation is when we use the pre-validation, when there is an exception, it will not roll back the changes. But in pre-operation, it will roll back it will roll back the changes.
Okay.
So that is the main difference between the pre-validation and the pre-operation and the post-operation. This is when the plugin will execute after the data save operation in the whenever after the data saving into the server. So the post-operation will start. So if there is any exception in post-operation, here also the data will get rolled back. And coming to the example, so if you have any requirement to perform any business data validations, if the data validations are failed, we need to send an email to the that particular owner of that record. So to restrict record creation side, since the changes will not get rolled back, if you register or plugin on pre-validation, the mail will get successfully sent, but it will not. It will. No, we can stop the record creation by throwing an exception. That is one use case we can use the pre-validation. And pre-operation, if you have any requirement like a newly created case to list of support team members in a round robin, we must use the we must and should use the registry plugin on a pre-operation, since we registered the plugin on a post-operation. So we don't get exact count. The newly created records will be saved already in the systems and will include in that count. So, so that is about the pre-operation.
Hmm.
And the post-operation, if you have requirement to create a primary contact automatically on a creation of the account, we must and should register our plugin on a post-operation. So to create a child records for a parent, and a parent record must be available in the system. So if you register a plugin in pre-operation, the record not yet saved in the server, we may not be able to create the child record. In that cases, first the parent record should be saved into the server. So for that we use the post operation.
Okay.
So that is in the pipeline stage. So,
Okay. Can we run plugin using the calling user?
sorry, I didn't get the question, sir.
Can we run the plugin? Can we execute the plugin as calling user context? Let's say if I log in as a different user,
Okay.
and if I'm updating something using plugin, in
Okay.
audit history, I should see the context as current logged in user.
Current login user. Okay.
Can we do that?
No, sir. No idea, sir.
Do you know the business rule scope?
Yes, sir.
What is the business rule scope?
So there are in business rules we have the two scopes, sir. One is the entity scope and one more is the all firm scope.
Hmm.
So whenever the when we use the entity, these both the business scopes are meant for refer to when and where we have to use the when and where we have to apply the business rules based on the certain conditions. So when we use the entity, a business rule, for example, let's say a business rule defined by a case entity. So that might use for the specific validation rules or a field behaviors. So whenever a case record is created or updated, so that is for an entity, sir. And one more difference also, when we use the entity, it will apply the business rule irrespective of the user actions, and also the when we do the export and import using the Excel also. So whenever there is an operation, whenever there is an update is happening through that entity, that on that entity, from anywhere like from the farm also, and from the export or import also. So the same business will be applied to that entity. When we use the all forms, there is a difference. A business rule is set to apply all forms. So it will not work for the export or import when we do that. So whenever we are doing any changes from the form, then only the business rule will be applied to that particular no, form. So that is for all forms.
Okay. So business rule scope, what you have to explain, the basic difference మీరు highlight చేయాలి. Examples తో చెప్పారు, that is good, well and good. And the
Yes, sir.
basic idea is,
Yes, sir.
if you use business rule scope as form level, it will work only for the client side. And if
Client
you
side.
use
Yes.
a scope as entity, it will work both the client side as well as server side.
Server side. Yes, sir.
ఆ basic point అనేది highlight చేయాలి.
Yes,
Then
sir.
you can explain the other things. Okay.
Server side and client side. Yes, sir. Mentioned. Yeah,
Examples
keywords.
30.
Yes, sir.
Examples ఏంటి? If somebody is imported the data from backend, not using the CRM UI. CRM UI అని specific గా మెన్షన్ చేస్తే CRM form నుంచి. If they're
Okay,
not
sir.
using the CRM UI, they're trying to create records in the backend, either by using data import or by using code. So
Yes.
the business rule might not trigger if you use it as a form specific. If you use it as a server or entity, the business rule will work. So depends on our requirement, we can choose which one we have to choose. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you just let us know is specific example or scenario for which you have used scope as entity?
Entity, for example, if you want to update thousands of records, so for from an entity, for example, in that case, we can use both entity. We can use the scope as entity so that it will update the record from server end. So we'll get the updated data. for all the 1,000 records, whatever we want.
Okay.
By using Excel import and export.
Yeah. So if you want to perform some validations and update some data or set some data, so we can use the business rule. So that is fine. Good. And so do you know about the workflow?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is the workflow?
Uh, for definition.
Have you ever implemented workflows in your project?
Yes, we have implemented.
Can we have a scenario?
Yes, sir. By using workflows, we are sending an emails to doctors as soon as the appointment is created,
Hmm.
and also we are sending the emails to the patients as soon as doctor is approved the appointments. So in these scenarios, we are using these are the few examples we are using for.
Okay. And what is the difference between plugin and workflow?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir?
Yes, Sham. So give me 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Sham. So what is the difference between workflow and plugin?
Workflow and plugin. So in workflow, we don't use the coding, sir. In plugin, we use the coding, C#
Hmm.
dotted coding, and the workflow is a plugin is a little advanced to the workflow. And whatever we cannot achieve in the workflows, we can move to the plugin. So
Hmm.
that is the one. And the workflow, both workflow and plugin runs at server side, and workflow also runs at server side.
Okay.
And
యా మీకు కొన్ని డిఫరెన్సెస్ ఉన్నవి డాక్యుమెంట్లో ఒకసారి చూసుకోండి మిమ్మల్ని సో ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ అగైన్ దోస్ థింగ్స్
yes, sir.
ఇన్ టుమారోస్ క్లాస్ యాజ్ వెల్ మీరు చూసుకుంటే అర్థమవుతుంది వీ కెన్ పుట్ ద వెయిట్ కండిషన్ ఇన్ వర్క్ ఫ్లో వీ కెనాట్ పుట్ వెయిట్ కండిషన్ ఇన్ ప్లగ్ ఇన్ సో అలాంటి కేసెస్ ఉంటాయి
Oh, okay, sir. Yes, sir.
అండ్ కెన్ వి రన్ వర్క్ ఫ్లో యాజ్ కాలింగ్ యూజర్
Um,
calling user means let's say if I log in with any one of the user, I
okay.
wanted to run using the user context. Can we do that?
No, sir. Maybe we cannot do that.
Hmm. So what is the workflow scope?
In workflows, we have
Workflow scope like organization, user, business
yes, sir.
unit,
Yes, sir.
those
We
things.
have a different scopes in workflows. So it depends upon the I mean the scope we provide. So that users whoever based upon that this scope users will get the access. So when we provide the non-access, so users will not get any access, and users and there is one more user, so that will show the records created by that particular user only. It will not show the records created by other users. And business unit, one more scope that will show the records created by within the particular business unit only. And user will cannot see the records created from other business unit. And
So
the parent.
Sorry, Sham. So here not showing. So here you have to say triggering. Workflow
Triggering.
workflow scope if you set as organization, the workflow will
Okay.
execute for the all records which are created in the system for all users. If you set workflow as a user, the
So
workflow
user
will trigger only for the records which are created by workflow owner.
workflow trigger
Only for the records which are created by workflow owner. Okay.
cards.
And
Yes.
if you set workflow scope as business unit, the workflow will trigger for the all users created by within the business unit of the owner. And if you set the workflow scope as a parent and child business unit, the workflow will trigger for the all records which are created by
Created by
same business
pa-
unit of the
and
owner as well as child business unit users. Okay.
child business of the owner. Okay, sir.
That is how you have to explain. మీకు
Okay,
అవి
sir.
ట్రాకింగ్ షీట్లో ఇచ్చున్నాను. సో ఒకసారి చూసుకోండి.
ఏంటి సార్ ఇవే? ఓకే, ఇవి ఇచ్చున్నారు సార్. ఓకే, ఓకే. ఆన్సర్స్ సార్, ఆన్సర్స్ లో ఇచ్చినారు.
ఆన్సర్ ఇచ్చాను
ఓకే
వర్క్ ఫ్లో
సార్.
స్కోప్కి.
ఓకే సార్.
And how many types of entities we do have in system?
We do have two types of entities. So out of box entities, so we'll call it as system entities, and custom entities, whatever the entities we create for our business requirements. So we have
Okay.
two types of entities.
Do you know entity ownership?
Entity ownership, that will decide the that will decide who can access the who can access the data. Who can access the records.
How many types of ownership entities we can create?
నో ఐడియా సార్. యాక్చువల్లీ దీనికి నేను ఆన్సర్ కూడా రాంగ్ గా రాసుకుంటున్నట్టున్నాను. నాకు ఆ క్వశ్చన్ వేరే టైప్ లో అర్థమైంది యాక్చువల్లీ ఇది.
Yeah, what is the type of? Okay, that is fine.
సార్ ఇది ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఓనర్షిప్ అంటే అదే కదా సార్. ఇది హౌ ద హూ హ్యాస్ యాక్సెస్ టు వ్యూ ఆర్ ఎడిట్, అప్డేట్ ఆర్ డిలీట్ రికార్డ్స్ ఇన్ సిఆర్ఎం. అది ఓకేనా సార్? దానికి ఏమన్నా చేంజ్ చేయాలా?
Importance of?
ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఓనర్షిప్ సార్.
Yeah, so not that one. మీకు ఓనర్షిప్ టైప్ అనేది రికార్డ్ క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు వస్తుంది. So that is the thing you have to explain. I will explain you in the tomorrow class again. The important interview questions I will explain and show you the system as well for better understanding
ఓకే
in
సార్.
tomorrow's class, today's class. Okay. సో మీరు కొంచెం ఇంప్రూవ్ అవ్వాలి ఈశామ్. తెలిసినవి
ఓకే
ఉంటవి.
సార్. ఓకే సార్.
కొంచెం కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతున్నారు. అవి ఒక్కసారి
ఓకే సార్.
చూసుకోండి.
ఓకే
మనకు
సార్.
మెయిన్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా! మీరు రాసుకున్నారు కదా ట్రాకింగ్ షీట్‌లో ఆన్సర్స్. నాకు అవొకసారి నాకు పంపించండి. మీరు ఎలా రాసారో చూస్తాను.
ఇప్పుడు పంపించమంటారా సార్?
తర్వాత పంపించండి.
అలాగే సార్.
ఓకే. దట్స్ ఆల్ అబౌట్. సో మీరు కొంచెం ఇంప్రూవ్ అవ్వండి. నో
ఎస్ సార్.
నీడ్ టు వరీ.
ఎస్ సార్.
మీకు రేపటి క్లాస్‌లో ఎలా చెప్పాలి ఏంటి అనేది ఇంకొంచెం బ్రీఫ్‌గా చెప్తాను. అప్పుడు ఇంకొంచెం మీకు ఐడియా వస్తది. సో
ఎస్ సార్.
చెప్తున్నారు కొంచెం. ఈ ప్రాజెక్టే చెప్పండి. మీరు హాస్పిటల్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ చేసున్నారు కాబట్టి మీకు ఇంకొంచెం ఎక్కువ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ ఉంటుంది. ఎక్కడైనా క్రాస్ క్వెషన్స్ వచ్చినా చెప్పడానికి.
ఎస్
హాస్పిటల్
సార్.
ప్రాజెక్ట్‌ని తీసేసుకొని
ఎస్.
ఎక్స్‌ప్లెయిన్
ఎస్.
చేయండి.
ఎస్ సార్.
ఓకే.
ఎస్.
మీరు పబ్లిక్ యాక్సెస్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేయడానికి యూ హావ్ గివెన్ ద పోర్టల్ అండ్ ఇఫ్ దే ఆస్క్ ఈస్ ఇట్ యాక్సెసిబుల్ ఫర్ పబ్లిక్ యూ విల్ సే యెస్ అండ్ మే వి నో ద వెబ్‌సైట్ యూఆర్ఎల్ అని అడుగుతారు.
ఎస్
సో
సార్.
ఇంకా వెబ్‌సైట్ యూఆర్ఎల్ లేదు. ఇట్ ఈస్ యాక్సెసిబుల్ ఓన్లీ వితిన్ ద నెట్వర్క్ అన్నట్టుగా చెప్పండి. బికాస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎట్ డెవలప్డ్ స్టేట్.
ఓకే.
ఇట్స్ నాట్ అఫీషియల్లీ పుష్ టు లైవ్ అన్నట్టుగా చెప్పండి.
ఓకే సార్.
నాట్ అఫీషియల్లీ పుష్ టు లైవ్.
ఓకే
It
సార్.
is accessible within the network.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే. అండ్ వై యూ ఆర్ చేంజింగ్ ఫర్ ద జాబ్ అంటే ఏం చెప్తారు?
అంటే
ఫర్
జనరిక్
బెటర్
ఆన్సర్స్ ఫర్
బెటర్
బెటర్ కెరియర్ గ్రోత్ అని చెప్తాను.
ఫర్ బెటర్ ఆపర్చునిటీస్ అన్నట్టు చెప్పండి. సో
ఎస్.
ఇట్ ఈస్ ద ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ ఈస్ ఎట్ ఎండ్ స్టేజ్ and
ఓకే.
it is going to live in soon.
ఓకే.
It's already completed and waiting for the live approval. We almost completed our project 1 month back only,
ఓకే.
and so that's the reason I'm looking for better opportunities అన్నట్టు చెప్పండి.
ఎస్.
Okay. Uh, so how do we populate the non-editable fields using workflow? Let's say I have a read-only field in the form,
ఎస్.
and if you want to update using the workflow, can we do that?
Uh, no, sir. To populate the non-editable fields, first we have to make that field as editable. Then we have to create the workflow on that particular field. So after creating the workflow, again we can make it as non-editable, so that we can populate by using a workflow. Uh,
Okay. And what is the difference between real-time workflow and background workflow, like synchronous and asynchronous workflow?
Yeah, real-time workflows runs along with the create or update requests. So as soon as real-time workflows triggers, so it will block the user interface until workflow completes its execution. So in this case, user might experience a slight delay. So so real-time workflows are more suitable for scenarios where we need immediate actions. So in these cases, we can go for real-time workflows. And coming to the background workflows, so background workflows are it's our queued workflows. So its execution and runs asynchronously at a later time of our record updation. So background workflows do not block the user interface. So it is ideal for long running process. Whenever we have a long running process after update of the record, after creation of the request, we can go for the background workflows. And also whenever we don't require the immediate action, so as soon as the record is updated or created, so in that case also we can go for a background or asynchronous workflows.
Hmm. Do you know append and append to privileges?
Yes, sir. For append, it will allows the users to associate records with other records, and append to it allows the users to be associated with the records created by other users. So we have to use the append to on the parent record and append on the child record.
Okay. And how do we restrict the duplicate records in the system?
Duplicate records we can restrict by using two ways. So either we can create the duplicate routes and or by using the keys. So there is a small limitation on the rules by when we create the duplicate restriction tool by using rule. So it will just to notify the user that we are so you are entering the duplicate data, but it will not completely stop the user to no enter the to submit the duplicate data by using keys. We can achieve that one also.
Hmm. And let's say I have a scenario.
Okay.
So I do have the multiple branches, and the permissions like read access or read access is provided at business unit level. One business unit level records can be seen only the under that employees. And
Okay.
I have one of the requirement. I want to share other business units records to specific to one user, which is cross business unit user. Just assume I do have
Okay.
business unit A and business unit B. And at business
Okay.
unit A, X is the user. At
Okay.
business unit B, Y is the user. And as per the security configuration, the cross business units records not allowed between two users. They can only see their own business unit records.
Okay.
And I have the one more user, that is Jet. Jet users must access records from both business units. How do we achieve?
So maybe this we can share the records by using by using share permissions.
Mhm. But if the new record is created,
Okay.
I wanted to share all of them, even for existing and new records as well. How do you share? For
Mm,
each record cannot be shared, right? If
Yes,
I,
yes. So that will not share all the records. So we can assign the we can provide the assign permissions.
so
So that will
what you have to say, we will create one team క్రియేట్ చేసి మనం
yes,
చూపించాం కదా బజాజ్
Teams.
ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసేటప్పుడు.
Yes, sir.
సో దట్ ఈస్ హౌ యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్.
Okay, we have to create teams. Yes.
Create team and add both of them into that team.
Yeah.
So you provide a single security role, it will work.
For
Okay.
both business units.
Users, so into single team, and you add a security role to the assign that security role to the team. Then they can access the cross business unit records.
Yes, sir.
And how do we debug the plugin? Do you know the plugin debug steps?
Yeah, plugin debugging. We can do this in two ways by using the debugger keyword that we can directly use in the JavaScript.
But
So
I'm asking
that's
about the plugin, not the JavaScript.
oh, I'm sorry, that is plugin. To debug the plugin, so we can use the registration tool. As soon as we hit the update or create request from the CRM user, we can have that profile. First, for that profile, we have to install the profiler first. As soon as we install the profile, we can capture the profile. So whatever update or create operations we are doing, and once we capture the profile, we have to uh, no log I mean the log into the registration tool, and then we can select that profile, and we can select that assembly, and we can also select that plugin. Once all these selected, we can go to the Visual Studio and add the uh, uh, this one. We have to and under debug tab, we have to uh, add that process attach. Yeah, we have to attach the process in
Hmm.
under debug. So after that, we can put the debugging point and in Visual Studio. Then we can hit the start execution in the plugin registration tool. So that will hit the already completed action from Visual Studio Code.
Okay.
Visual Studio Code. Yeah.
What is the plugin depth?
సార్ దిస్ ఈ క్వశ్చన్ నాకు క్లారిటీ రావట్లేదు సార్ ఇది.
Okay, that is fine. Okay, Sham. So that is fine. సో మీకు ఇంటర్వ్యూ క్వశ్చన్స్ అండ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి రేపు క్లాస్లో టు ఎవ్రీ
ఓకే
వన్. సో విల్
ఓకే
గెట్ బెటర్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ఈ ప్లగ్ ఇన్ డెప్త్ కానీ ఇంకా చిన్న చిన్న క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటాయి. మీకు 4 to 5 ఎంట్రీస్ అయితే పర్ఫెక్ట్ అయిపోతారు.
ఓకే
సో
సార్.
నో ప్రాబ్లం.
సార్ యాక్చువల్లీ నాకు నేను ఆన్సర్స్ ప్రిపేర్ చేసుకున్నాను సార్, బట్ అవి నాకు కరెక్ట్గా ఉన్నాయో నాకు తెలీదు. నాకు అవే బ్రెయిన్లో ఉన్నాయి. నాకేంటంటే మీరు ఇందాక చెప్పారు కదా సార్, ఇది సెక్యూరిటీ రోల్ ఇందాక అడిగారు ఒకటి. సెక్యూరిటీ రోల్ కాదు, అది వర్క్ ఫ్లో స్కోప్ అడిగారు కదా. అప్పుడు మీరు చెప్పారు కదా అది బై ఓనర్
యా
అట్లా చెప్పారు కదా. అట్లా నాకు కొన్ని ఆన్సర్స్ కావాలి సార్. నేను
యా
ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ సరిగా ఇవ్వలేకపోతున్నాను, అది మాత్రం నాకు అర్థమైంది ఈ
మీకు
ఇంటర్వ్యూస్.
తెలిసి ఉంటుంది బట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ దగ్గర రావట్లేదు.
అవును సార్.
ప్రెజెంటేషన్
ఎస్ సార్,
ప్రెజెంటేషన్
ప్రెజెంటేషన్
వెరీ
ఎస్
వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. మీకు
ఎస్ సార్.
బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ తెలిసిందని నాకు అర్థమవుతుంది బట్ ప్రెజెంటేషన్ దగ్గర స్ట్రక్ అయిపోతున్నారు.
కరెక్ట్
అది మనం పేపర్ మీద పెట్టుకొని చూసుకొని 2 to 3 times ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తే మీకు వస్తుంది, డైరెక్ట్గా అంటే రాదు.
ఎస్ సార్.
ఓకే,
ఓకే సార్.
మీకు మీకు అది చెప్తాను రండి. మీరు ఏవైతే రాసుకున్నారో నాకు పంపించండి ఒకసారి, నేను అవి రైట్ రాంగ్గా చెప్తాను.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే శ్యామ్. సో దట్స్ ఆల్. సో వాట్ వీ డూ, give me 1 minute.